We've got James from Detroit, Michigan.
Yes, and James says, hello, Click and Clack Brothers. Just kidding. Longtime listener and first time asking a question. For someone who is retired, currently 53, retired at age 48. Congratulations, James. I'm 48. I'd have to consider this. With a predictable income. What's that?
You're not retired. You're still here.
Yep. With a predictable income, withdraw from 72T and rental income, what is the ideal emergency cash reserve in months? The biggest risk for cash reserve is unemployment, and that is not a factor. I understand that there are other factors to consider: medical, car, and home repairs and other events. By the way, I drive a 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness, traded a 2014 vehicle about a year ago. This resulted in $16 of monthly depreciation for the time that I own the car. What a strange world we live in. Keep up the great work. Best regards, James. Thank you, James.
Yeah, thank you. So, well, good for you. So you bought a car and it basically only cost you $16 a month. I mean, that's pretty good.
What a world.
Well, let's see. So your question is about emergency funds. And I would say my quick answer is anywhere between 3 months and 2 years, which isn't very helpful but there's variables to consider in that. And I think part of it is the stability of your income. Right. And what your needs might be. So for example, one extreme would be husband and wife are retired. They've got great government pensions that cover more than they would ever want to spend. Okay, you're fine with 3 months. I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. Then you got a independent contractor that works in the construction trade. Jobs are plentiful, then they're not. They're plentiful, then they're not. You might need a year or two. Right. Given potential recessions and housing booms and busts. So those are kind of a couple different extremes. I think, James, in your case, you're talking about a predictable income, but I might question that a little bit because your two sources of predictable income can be variable. So 72T election is based upon your IRA balance, which can fluctuate, and rental income that can fluctuate a lot, depending upon vacancies and repairs. But Kyle, why don't you start with the 72T? What is that, and how does that work?
Yeah, essentially 72T is a way for people who retire prior to 59 and a half to get access to cash in their retirement account. And these can be set up a bunch of different ways, but essentially it's either 5 years or the longer of 59 and a half. So it's a way to get, sort of fixed income. It's not as simple as just allocating the cash with what you think you're going to need over those 5, 6, 7 years. There's a lot of formulas, actuarial tables that need to be going into it, but that money's invested, right? And so like if he gets a bad market and that portfolio is not set up appropriately and he doesn't have an emergency fund, right, the 72T might not work out.
Yeah. So for those that want to retire before 59 and a half, of course, you have to pay taxes on the money you withdraw, but you don't have to pay that early withdrawal penalty, which is 10% federal. In California, which I know you're in Michigan. In California, there's another 2.5% penalty on top of that. I'm not sure about Michigan. So the 72T basically gets you out of the penalty, which is totally cool. But if it's invested and your accounts fluctuate, you could have more or less, depending upon what the market's doing. And remember, we've just had a 11, 12-year bull run. It's a little bit volatile right now. What will the next 5, 10 years,
hold for you?
Hard to say. Mm-hmm. Hard to say. We just don't know. So that may not be as predictable as you would think. And then rental income, that can be all over the place. And I can say that from experience because I've had rentals since, 1986.
Yeah, I love the motorcycle story.
Yeah, I'll reiterate that for those that haven't. So I think it was 1989. I had a rental in Escondido in California, near San Diego, and I rookie landlord mistake. I tried to rent it. It was during tax season. I'm CPA. I didn't have time for this, but I did. I just went out on the weekend. I got a bunch of people out. One person really, 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 really wanted it. I did not run a credit check. I didn't do anything. I thought, and they go, can we just pay half the, deposit now and half, when we move in? I said, sure. Well, next thing you know, they were in the unit for 45 days before I got them kicked out. I didn't get another penny. And I just put a new carpet, painted it, and sure enough, what did they do? They parked their motorcycle in the living room, got oil all over the carpet. It's like,
Wow.
that is about as dumb as you can be. But my point, though, is that rental property income is not necessarily stable. So James, I'm going to just spitball here based upon what you told me. I would say you're going to need a minimum of 6 months, maybe even a year. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, I think that's a good number. And I mean, you might even want to keep that in cash in the portfolio. Again, just with emergency funds, I think, you want it to be liquid, but you don't want it necessarily easily accessible in the sense that you can just swipe it from a savings to a checking account.
Right. And I think the other thing is the 72T election. It's not like you can just say, well, I need more money this month. You're not, it's
fixed.
It's a fixed periodic payment. It's not like you're 59 and a half and you can take whatever you want, right? It's a fixed periodic payment. So it's very inflexible.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.